What's up? Matt from Urchfab here. So recently come back from a little trip to Cadwell Park. Had some friends that had booked a track day there, and I thought let's get out for one last blast before winter sets in. And it was happened to be on the same day as my brother's birthday, so I thought I'd book him in for the track day and he could experience driving around a racetrack, because I think it's something everyone should experience. Initially I was going to take the Mini, and then I thought I would take the P because I thought it was a better option. It's a bit easier to drive. The gearbox is a little bit hard work on the Mini, so it's a mega long drive to Cadwell, getting on for 5 hours from me. Trekked all the way up there, stayed in a hotel that's like 5 minutes from the track, which had swimming pool, sauna, so that was good. Got there early, went for a swim, sat in the sauna, went out and got some food. Got to the track in the morning. Track was wet, very busy, cold. The only tyres I've got on the car are Toyo R888s, which are not good in the wet. I sent my brother Dan out for the sighting lap, and he nearly spun it on the sighting lap, and I thought maybe rear wheel drive snappy car with semi-slicks on it wasn't the best idea for a first ever track day. Add to the fact that it was very busy. Like sometimes you do a track day and there's loads of beginners there, and you know it'll be going around quite slow, and then other times everyone's absolutely tearing around. I would say everyone there was definitely experienced track day goers, so I for sure threw him in at the deep end on probably the most technical, narrowest racetrack in the UK on a very busy day. So yeah, definitely baptism of fire for him. So I just tried to direct him around the track, showing him the racing line. I had the passenger mirror so I could see what was behind me in that mirror, and then he's trying to focus on what he's doing. One thing that became an issue really quick was that I'm not great as a passenger on track days. Makes me feel a bit sick. Cadwell Park's like a roller coaster, so I started to feel really sick. He didn't want to go out on his own because he just wasn't confident enough. So like after sort of 3 sessions of passengering around that track, I was like pretty done in. And then when I would try and go out and drive myself, I couldn't really shake the feeling. So didn't actually end up doing too many laps myself. From the first session to the 3rd or 4th session, he started to get the hang of it and was picking up the pace. And then we had a real sketchy moment. The closest I think I've been to a serious disaster in the P. I mean, I've had some close calls in it for sure, but this was like, I don't even know how the 2 cars didn't hit. It must have been like a millimeter between them, with a massive difference in like closing speeds as well. So basically what happened, Dan was on the wrong bit of the track. He was on the right side. I waved him over to the left to try and get him onto the racing line. I did, like you can see in the video, I do look in the mirror before I do it, but the car that's coming up behind it's on a corner, coming into, like braking into a corner. So he was obviously further this way, and I just didn't see him in the mirror. So waved him across. As I waved him across, this car's just come herring around the outside. Even in the video, like that, my car is got quite a wide arch and wide footprint, and it looks like the car's like an inch away from the side of the wing. So yeah, it was too close for comfort for sure. And the guy he come running over afterwards and was very apologetic. He thought that Dan was on the wrong side of the track to let him by, and so he just carried on, you know. And then obviously we just pulled over straight in front of him because it was my fault. I waved him across the track straight into it. But you shouldn't be overtaken in a braking zone on a track day. But I've done it many times. You anticipate what you think someone's going to do, and then they do something else, and you end up getting a bit too close to someone. So near misses are fine. I'm just glad we didn't get rear-ended at that sort of difference in speed, because that would have been the end of that car for sure. Adam from Fabco came down because he lives real local to there. I took him out in the car for a few laps, which was cool. So that was the final track day really. So I'm now going to take that engine out of the car. It reconfirmed everything I thought about, that setup in the car and how it has kind of ruined it. So I'm really looking forward to getting a naturally aspirated engine back in there. So that's coming out. Pinto's going in. Moving on to the Escort. The current situation, what I'm doing today is, or what I have been doing, is I've got the laptop in here and I'm essentially just driving around and logging everything that the car's doing onto the ECU. I'm then downloading that off of the ECU onto the laptop, emailing that to Steve at PVE. He's then altering it, sending it back to me. I upload that in, drive it around again, and we're now on version 6 of the map, because there was quite a bit of stuff that was wrong in the ECU, and once those things were corrected, it sort of set a lot of other things off within the map, so it needed quite a bit of work to sort of bring it back to where it's like drivable and usable. That's one of the benefits of having like one of these higher end ECUs that has the ability to log everything, that has built-in Lambda. This one's got NOx sensors on it, so I can record every different channel, and like Steve will add things to it. So he'll send me a file that has different things that he wants to be able to see whilst I'm driving. Then it will record those, send that back to him. He can look at that, check it back over. And that's just something that you couldn't do with a basic ECU. But that's the sort of thing you want to factor in if you're buying an ECU. I've used a few different brands. My favorite brand in terms of being able to navigate my way around the software is the Max ECU that I've got on the P. That is so like user intuitive, and it's just easy to be able to do the things you need to do on it. This is a Link Fury ECU. The software on this is all right. It still takes me a bit of a while to get around it. But yeah, if you were having an issue or something, and you can just go out and like do some logging for 10 minutes and send that over to someone that knows what they're looking at, and they can say, oh yeah, that's the issue. It could save you a trip to the dyno. This is still going to go to the rolling road, just because I want to have the switchable boost set up properly. It's actually got anti-lag on this car, which I've not used because it's not, I don't know how well that's set up, and obviously that can do a lot of damage if it's not set up right. Whether I'll just turn that off completely, or whether we'll have a play with that on the dyno, I don't know. So just my take on modern ECUs. Gonna set this out for a little spin now and see what version 6 feels like. So each time I take it out, it just gets a little bit smoother and a bit more refined. What a beast. I'm liking version 6 so far. We're just on wastegate pressure at the moment, so this has got electronic boost control, so the ECU can control the boost, but it's all just set to 0. So this is just wastegate pressure, which is 0.8 bar, which I can read on there. So at full throttle it will just hit 0.8 bar. So the ECU can control whether you want more boost earlier on or more boost later on. So that's how I can have one of these switches down here, which will essentially be a high boost and low boost. So this would be the lowest boost setting. I actually like this just for driving around on the road. It's not too much, and then, you know, we can have a mental setting if you want to go out and scare yourself. So yeah, if you do win the car, you can have either or at the flick of a button. There's definitely still enough power to get yourself in trouble when it's a bit greasy. I accept no responsibility for any sideways moments you might have if you do win this car. For this one, cheers for watching, see you on the next one.